Well, Dallas back home this week. A big test with Western Michigan coming in, ranked top 10 in the country. I mean, how do you go in prepare for a series like that?
Well, I think that you got to kind of focus just like you did in the previous 10 games. I think that's been one of the things I've liked about our team so far this year is they've just approached every game the same way regardless of who we're playing. And I think that if you sit there and approach different games in different ways, you can probably create a little bit of inconsistency and lack of focus. So they're obviously we know their team, and we know they're talented in all three positions and very well coached, and a team that's deservingly in the top 10 right now. So again, it's just about preparing throughout the course of this week to make sure that we're ready to play our best games on Friday and Saturday. And again, it's creating an even keel and a consistent approach to every game. And so far this season, I've liked that out of our group. I think that's been one of our strengths. So we need to continue on with that this week and prepare. For again, it's going to be a hard fought series, and execution is going to be very important.
Some of the guys talked about one of the games getting away, the one that you lost in the shootout on last Friday at Ohio State, and then you rebound with a very convincing win, and you even got some special teams help for that 3-1 win. But still, how satisfying come away from a road trip at Ohio State with 4 of the possible 6 points?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're getting points on the road, you're happy with that. I think that you can start looking, look at the performances. I thought our team performed pretty well. I mean, I thought that, we got off to a pretty good start in the first game, and, knowing it was their home opener, and, them being excited to be at home and us traveling and being on the road. I mean, it was important to get the weekend off right, and thought our team did a good job. We, again, kind of kept an even keel throughout the whole 6 periods that we played, plus the overtime, I guess. But I think it was, it was interesting in the dynamics of the game, because, I mean, there was, several situations in the third periods of both games where we had to kill off a bunch of penalties just to, when we had, I think, nine minutes in the third period we had to kill off, and a 5-minute major to end of the game. I thought that was a good test for our team to stay with it. So, it was an interesting game Friday, because it wasn't a whole bunch of scoring chances, but I felt like maybe we had the upper hand in scoring chances on the whole night. But at the same time, both teams played hard and didn't give up a whole lot. So a 1-1 game was probably pretty close. We had the lead going into the third period. They score 15 seconds in, and you still got basically 20 minutes to decide who wins the game. And we didn't get the shootout point, but again, it was to get a tie on the road to start off. I mean, certainly getting points any night is important. And I thought, when we rolled into Saturday, again, you look at it can be a really good weekend if you get the win, and it could be a really disappointing weekend if you only leave there with 1 point and a tie. So based on our performance, but I thought again the guys stayed with it. Where power play was struggling a little bit at the end of the second period, where we had lots of opportunities and we didn't capitalize, and then finally we got one. I believe with around a couple of minutes left or something, and to give us the tie going into the third period. And again, we were faced with some adversity. Took some penalties and had to kill them off, and got a shorthanded goal. And Jarrett Granberg's goal, the game-winning goal, was a nice play just at the end of a power play. So satisfied with the 4 points, certainly being on the road and against the quality opponent. And we're putting that behind us and starting to prepare here for Western.
The guys have talked about at the beginning of the season, picked towards the bottom of the CCHA, and right now you find yourselves in second now, even though it's still early on. Mm-hmm. I mean, they talk about it. Was it kind of extra motivation to really go out there just that hard every night? Because right now you're getting the results you need, and right now you guys are sitting pretty well in the early going in the conference standings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the first one to tell the guys I don't look at the standings very often, and I don't look at the stats very often. To me, it's about our performance and how guys are playing, and how our team's playing as a group. But again, yeah, it's early, like you said, but at the same time, I mean, I've liked our approach. I liked our guys' focus and their work ethic and their ability to kind of stick through it. When you go through ups and downs in a game or in a season or a segment of your season, I mean, you got to be able to handle those things. And I think our leadership's done a good job of keeping guys focused, and they're coming to the rink every day with the right attitude and the right work ethic. And I think again, it's do you use it as motivation? I think you can at sometimes. I think to us, it's about more about us than what anyone else thinks of us, or the perception or anything like that. If you're picked last or whatever, I mean, we've seen both ends of the spectrum here over the last 4 years since I've been the head coach, where we're picked dead last my first year, and we ended up finishing fourth. And same thing last year where we're picked pretty high and we finished 10th. So it's all about the process of a season and keeping a perspective on it. I don't think you can get too high and too low, and we're just working to get better every day and get points every weekend. And I think if we continue to keep the right focus and follow the process, I think in the end we'll be in a position where we want to be going into the playoffs.